the mistheroes.com website for more information about earning and spending hero points. The show will begin. Hello and welcome to Heroes of the Mist, episode 39. This is a homebrew Worlds of Beru multiverse campaign using Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 1st Edition. This is a family-friendly edutainment stream. Catch us weekly on twitch.tv/RPG Research every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Time. Today is March 24th, 2019. This show attempts to illustrate how an average tabletop role-playing game is played, hoping to inspire others. We also occasionally discuss accessibility, inclusiveness, psychology, therapeutic recreation, and neuroscience concepts within the context of role-playing gaming. We discuss and represent playing a tabletop role-playing game as you would with your friends. This may include discussion about play styles, rules, house rules, and more. The show may sometimes include the aforementioned more technical discussions, but we keep that to a minimum, just to interject them here and there throughout the game. We aren't using professional voice actors, cosplayers, computer-based maps, adventure management software, etc. We're using paper, pencils, dice, battle mats, miniatures, whiteboards, markers, etc. We are using some technology to link remote players and to broadcast, but for the most part, we're trying to keep it illustrative of how you would play in your own house. You can learn more about the Heroes of the Mist adventures at mistheroes.com. And by the way, as I said, today's episode 39. Episodes 1 through 34 are now available on our youtube.com/RPG Research playlist. You can find it easily by going to mistheroes.com and right on the front page, or you can go to Show Archives. It says YouTube Heroes of the Mist playlist. Just click that and it will autoplay through. I've been spending months trying to get this organized. And now they're all in nice, neat order. All the episodes play in order, autoplay, so you can binge listen all you want. We apologize for the audio quality and other technical issues. At some point, if I have time or others can help me, I'll go through and try to clean up the audio. But for now, please just hang in there. You'll have to adjust the audio from time to time.
If the audio really bothers you, feel free to donate to the project so we can
have better quality equipment. Because we're all volunteers here and we're just cobbling together what we can.
We would love to improve this whole thing as much as possible. But,
absolutely. We're doing what we can with what we have. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, so we've had some feedback about the eating and the other noises, and we're doing what we can to resolve that. That being said, on the flip side, these people said they were really enjoying the stories. Even as recently as this week, we've had people saying they really enjoy the episodes if it wasn't for the audio. That's the only big criticism. There's ebbs and flows and stuff, but they said they really liked that it was an approachable, accessible thing, and it helped some people be more inspired that they could run a game themselves. They felt less intimidated than some other shows and such, which is part of our goal. So there was good feedback. It wasn't all criticism. And really, the only one that I said that seemed to drive people away was the audio. So we're going to do everything we can to fix that. So if the audio is bugging you, if you're hearing somebody rubbing a mic, which has been an issue, bumping stuff, whatever, let us know, and we'll try to adjust and accommodate. We really want to get that dialed in as best we can. We are short a few. There I go, hit the microphone. We're short a few microphones. I had one microphone die, and I haven't been able to get it working, and so that's been a problem. And it's about $100 a microphone to set up for each person. And so we were using a lavalier mic, but that's been getting bumped and is a little too sensitive. So we pulled that out. So the audio, those of you on the end there, make sure you speak up. Joe, your audio has been fine. Sometimes it's been a little loud, but your audio has been fine.
Yeah, you haven't been a Dalek in quite a while.
Well, that's because we stopped using Firefox. That was a Firefox bug that still to this day isn't fixed. Anyway, you can learn more about the campaign setting we're in, which is a homebrew multiverse setting. It's called Worlds of Beru, spelled B-E-R-U. You can go to beru.world is the website. And this is an audience interactive show. So not only can you give us feedback about how we're doing and such, you can actually affect the gameplay nearly real time. Sometimes we have to have some latency on when I can integrate it. But if you hang out in our chat room, you automatically gain hero points. If you say nice things about us on Twitter and Facebook and such, you can tell the moderators will give you bonus hero points. If you donate to us, which is one of the big points, because RPG Research is a 501c3 nonprofit studying the effects of all role-playing games and their potential to improve lives, if you donate to us, you get gaggles of hero points. And then you can... What's that?
A full gaggle, you say?
Many gaggles. You can use those hero points then to affect the weather and encounters, and so sometimes audience members use it to help the players.
We've created recurring NPC
creatures that keep showing up. Yep, but that's the audience members have done that. Mm-hmm. So you get to be part of the story as it has unfolded these nearly 40 episodes.
You could be a running joke.
Because we do try to, if you don't mind, unless you tell us otherwise, we try to use your username as the creature or character if at all possible. So yeah.
If you donate, that's like win.
Yeah,
then we can
help so
improve
much.
The show. We can improve the research and get the hero points for you.
So one of the things people want to know numbers. I'm still spreadsheeting it. It looks like for about every $10 a month, we're helping run a table for about 5 kids. Yeah, basically. So about every $10 a month works out to a table for 5 kids to help their lives just really open up and do great. So
that's just $2 a kid.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So
when I got my daughter, she was way more expensive than that.
Yeah. We are helping minimum, right? This is just the minimum between our community programs on Fridays and other programs that we're doing and the streaming and all of that. We're helping dozens of kids a week, and adults and people with special needs, all sorts of populations, every week through the volunteering and work that we're doing and such through role-playing gaming. And we'd be able to do a lot more if we could get through our bottleneck on the donations. That's our big bottleneck. We've got great volunteers. We're over 50 volunteers, across 4 continents and such. But we've hit a bottleneck on that on the financial side, and we'll keep doing everything we can. I mean, we are lean and mean. We are doing a lot with very little, but that's where we have to grow things to be able to go to the next level. But that looks like, again, I still have to further spreadsheet, but it's looking like about $10 a month helps an entire table of kids, for us to bring the programs out to them and stuff. I'm still not 100% dialed in on that, but that's not bad. It's a 3-hour session, give or take. And these kids, a lot of them are at-risk youth and such. They just go from here to this like in half an hour, 45 minutes, and 90 minutes. They just open up, and it's amazing.
Well, plus, if you use my entertainment versus money scale of the value of a movie for 2 hours of entertainment, that's 3 hours for $2 a person.
Yep.
That's
it's quite a deal.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Let's go into the PBS mode. But anyway, and we are planning some big marathon gaming fundraiser thing later in a few months, where everybody, all our volunteers are gonna take turns, either with a tabletop game and video games, where we try to just keep the stream going for 24, 48, 72 hours, with everybody doing like a 2 or 3 or 4 hour shift. Keeping the party moving through whatever adventure, and just keeping the story moving as everybody in different time zones keeps it going, to try to raise funds for RPG research. So that's coming in a few months, hopefully, if all goes well. Hopefully you guys will be part of that too. I thought you could roll into the Heroes of the Mist stream, possibly. Woo! We're doubled. Double.
Is there an echo in here?
Farscape. They're twinned.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So there's all that info. So if you donate $10 a month through patreon.com/RPG research, you get 1,000 hero points a month.
1,000?
1,000 for just $10 a month.
What a deal.
And that lets you do some pretty remarkable stuff with creatures and NPCs and weather and natural things, and you've seen it. You've seen how the audience has helped and hindered and just entertained themselves like 20 separate geese. I'm looking at John because of his wife. not a gaggle of 20 geese. 20 separate geese to encounter individually is what she requested.
And
she had the points.
That's become a permanent fixture.
And you now have a gosling and such.
Because I have an attack goose.
Yes. So these things have a last.
Ferret.
Yes, you have a comfort. So these things have a lasting effect on the story in unpredictable ways. None of us. I don't know. Audience members don't know. You guys don't know. None of us can predict how these things will turn out between all of these different minds collaborating on this.
And I have a hatred for crows. Not ravens. Just crows.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm your host and game master and founder of RPG Research, Hawk Robinson.
John Walker, Vice President of RPG Research, and Lindale Stellifolium, High Elf Bard, just here for the fun of it.
I am Lillian. I am playing River. She is a sea spirit folk Ryujin martial artist, and she also follows Ryujin, who is Lord of the Sea.
I'm Adam. I'm playing Torn, who quite possibly might be a hero of destiny. On account of I've died and I've come back, now I'm the slayer of the undead hordes, and well, I mean they always come from some little bit of speck of nowhere, so it only makes sense that I'm going to pull a sword out of a stone or something to be a king. Yeah.
So now you're becoming a self-proclaimed
Savior.
Yeah, Messiah.
Chosen one.
The story fits.
Okay, Neo.
I'm Katie Coonan. I'm playing Moisha Turtlebomb. I'm a tailor. I wanted the love of my dearly beloved Esther, so I came adventuring. Not so sure that was a good idea, but these people seem pretty nice.
And hi, I am Alex Trebek. What?
No. Careful. No relation.
No. Maybe I'm Pat Sajak. No, I'm definitely Andrew, and I am playing Talk, who is a gnome illusionist and is out there seeking fame and fortune and his own origins in the process of becoming a world-famous illusionist entertainer.
Maybe like somebody you just mentored under?
Oh, yes. Quite possibly after my second master, the Yoda to my Luke Skywalker of Tathar the Magnificent.
Magnificent.
We had an echo on your.
Yeah, sometimes our audio is done that by accident. Yeah, one of these days when you get effects pedals and stuff. So
Yeah, that'd be
I've got
nice.
my guitar effects pedals and just loop them in because they would work with that equipment. But anyway, more stuff for Dan to juggle. That's what he needs. he'll hear that in a minute. And next, joining us remotely online over Jitsi. Uh-oh, no audio.
No audio.
Nope.
Dan, we lost Joe's audio.
So you had a
No.
comment how nice it's been, you jinxed
All right. Do it in interpretive dance.
Probably when that second browser loaded, it probably cut it off. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got you now.
I'm Joe Coonan. I play Third Guardian, who is a simple contract negotiator and contract enforcement agent for a small weaving concern in far-off Oridia, the desert lands, where the sun is in the sky and song is in our hearts. He is a fighter thief, half-elf. He has 8 siblings, none of which are half-elves, just him. So, awkward.
Speaking of awkward.
And behind the scenes, we have Dan helping run the tech. And again, we're all volunteers here. Nobody's paid. And also remotely in the chat room, besides Dan, is also Pyro helping with the moderation, hero points allocation, spreading the word, etc. So thank you both, Dan and Pyro, for all your hard work. We really appreciate it. Help make this all happen.
Yeah, Pyro is a moderately awesome moderator.
Ouch.
So, previously on Heroes of the Mist, you guys had come to the northern crossroads, right? You've been striving to get here for some time. You'd come through a lot of blizzards and snow and just really inclement weather. You had an encounter with someone you believed to be a deity, little things like that. Farhad Guarian was a little shaken up by things, and you came up to this crossroads, and the place was a wasteland. Used to be forested, instead it was just obliterated, full of craters, hundreds of bodies and body parts scattered all over the place, mixtures of humans and centaurs and wood elves, oh my, everywhere, still smoldering in places. A few football fields across in each direction, just laid waste, and then the thick forest remaining, with a lot of the wood and such blown against the remaining stands of trees. And it was towards evening when you guys arrived. There were efforts to grab a few items, representative items from the dead, to try to do a ceremony from each of them at some point later, but a crow mistook that for taking its shiny things away and kept pecking mercilessly at the poor bard. That was audience-inspired, by the way.
The crows are just similar enough to ravens to make us a little awkward about doing it in Odin's territory.
Yeah, there were concerns about that. So meanwhile, you guys wanted to go east into the Wood Elves realm, but there was a huge log jam of all these blasted sideways tree trunks and such, blocking any way to get your horses through. You could, on foot, crawl over it. I mean, it's with difficulty, but you would have to leave your horses behind. And none of you want to do that, understandably. So you began chopping and using the horses to pull the logs out of the way, try to clear the trail and get through. And it was about 100 feet deep of all this wood refuse that you had to move. So you spent hours clearing away, and then evening started to come on. Meanwhile, some of the group went a little north and east to explore.
Looking for water.
Looking for water. Oh, yes.
Dragon.
Yes. You were hoping to use water to help move things more easily and such. Though they didn't know that, right?
I told Moisha.
You told Moisha. Okay, so
Moisha
Moisha.
went with.
Okay. Anyway, when they got into the woods, a whole bunch of wood elves accosted you, took you prisoner in two different groups, really.
Yeah.
Well, they took Moisha prisoner, and then
First, yes.
And then we went to look for
Moisha, with Lindalay's help tracking Herschel, your dog.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, eventually you all connected back together. You had conversations with the wood elves.
they told us to shut up a lot.
Yes, and pointed lots of bows at you. Who was it who made the suggestions about? There was some political suggestions somebody made. Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go around and summarize your experience from where we left off last episode, from each character's perspective, as quickly as you can.
Previously on the Adventures of Torin.
Yes. Right.
All right.
But we'll start with Lindalay.
Lindalay was being pecked to death by a crow because he was trying to make peace offerings to try to bring these tribes together. Wasn't able to talk about it to anybody. Really, it's hard to talk when you have feathers in your mouth and
A beak in your neck.
beak in your neck. I was about to say another word, but I just kept thinking it was probably inappropriate.
Family-friendly show.
Yes. And then we went hunting for them. My druidic ability to track stray animals led me to there, and we were ambushed by some wood elves who weren't very friendly. They don't even speak proper Elvish. Hey.
Speak American.
So, but he did bring up the idea that we're supposed to have a peace treaty. He referencing talk. Those of you who can't see me pointing at him. And then we came in and found out that there's zombies trying to destroy us. I got some holy water off the horses because I'm going to try to use that against zombies. And the last thing we're doing is I was preparing to pour the holy water over my bag of bullets.
Yeah. Once the sun set, the bodies animated and all started coming towards the group that was trying to clear the pathway. When that happened, you guys still had, I think, about 15 feet left to clear. I think when you guys left, it was about 25 feet to clear, and then when everything animated, you had about 15 feet left to clear. I think you're down to what, 10?
No, we have like 5 more feet. We've had
5 more feet. Yeah, you're really, really close. But
we have the elves helping now.
Yeah, but it's ish. They're not.
You said they had axes out. Like half of them had axes.
Yeah, they were like trimming the easy stuff. They're not like straining themselves heavily. They're helping, but it's nowhere near the energy into it that you guys are putting.
I mean, think about
trying to clear it.
Letting us and our horses through is giving easier access to their forest.
We'll come to that.
zombies.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, River, how about from your perspective when you came to the crossroads forward?
Wait, how far back?
When you first came to the crossroads, just last episode.
So, yeah, River wanted to help clear the trees, so she asked Moisha to go possibly look for water that might be nearby so she could use one of her spells, but then Moisha was gone for a very long time. And so River talked and Lindalay went to look for her, ran into some not
Look
so
for him.
Thanks.
But for her character.
Her character, and some not so friendly elves came and found us. And River didn't know what most of the conversation was about because they're not speaking in Elvish.
Or they weren't speaking
they weren't speaking in common, and they were speaking in Elvish. Sorry.
Yes.
And then she tried a bit to help with talking to the elves and convincing them of all the horrible things that are happening around them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they seemed curious about you, your character specifically.
I mean, who isn't?
Yeah.
Talk wanted to strangle you when you said you were human. No, just let them believe you're not human. We know these.
Okay, well, let's let if you want to role play that, if you want to role play that, that would be more appropriate than the meta discussion of it.
Well, no, I saw it as a.
Yeah, when we come to your have Talk explain his perspective,
Sure.
I am looking for any emotional experiences that River was having through this too.
She was more like, oh, this again. You know,
Right.
people.
But then you're all running south, and they were
Yeah.
talking. You're hearing all these moans and groans and wails in the
She's
distance.
very concerned about what's happening because it's, oh, this again. There are things attacking us. And she's right now confused about what she should do to help us not die. Of whether she should fight or help with the trees or make Talk invisible.
Mm-hmm. So you guys just had arrived after running south, saw this mess, hundreds of zombies swarming at the group, and still more logs to pull aside and chop through before we can get the horses through.
She's mostly stressed and panicked over how are we going to get through this one?
Yeah. Now, the one advantage of a group being mostly non-human is most of you can see in this dark. Karn and Torin and Klaus are not able to.
Maybe that's the best.
But you did have a few torches laid out that were giving some flickering light, so at least they could get by. But it's definitely been a challenge. So, Torin, how about from your perspective, from when you arrived at the crossroads, and go ahead and give your summary.
All right. So we're doing the manly work of clearing trees, and then a whole bunch of the little Jigget and the really fancy fellow, they go off somewhere. I guess lollygagging, I don't know. And I'm working, and it starts to get dark, and we hear something. I'm first like, oh no, there's survivors. We gotta go get to them. And then it turns out that because of the thieving of that one high elf, the whole battleground's raised up because I guess it's angered the spirit or something.
Yeah. So the high elf he's referring to is Lindalay the Bard.
And so Karn, being a valiant and brave knight, he goes off to slay them, and I figured he's got it handled. But after like an hour, you can still hear him killing things. I started to get concerned. So Farhad,
And he was breathing heavily.
Farhad says I should go help him on account of that I'm becoming a mighty warrior and all. So I go, and he looks like he's generally got it. So I figured I'll just hang back and pick some off with bullets so they don't get around him. But then there's just too many. And so I have to draw my mighty magical sword, Tanal, and I start slaying them. With one swipe, I lay low a dozen.
Okay, that's Torin's version of events. Keep that in mind. This is the character's version.
I pull Karn out of there before he gets just eaten up by all these massive mounds of shambling, disgusting flesh, which thankfully I can hardly see, because it's disturbing enough just knowing they're there.
You probably smell them pretty well.
Imagine we all kind of smell like just like sweat and
Okay, so
and then I pull him back, and then we're fighting, and then there's a dragon, and I don't even know what's going on.
yeah, this big white dragon came swooping down. Now there was a shout just before that happened.
Oh yeah, talks like it's not real. I'm like, the heck it ain't. I mean, I can feel like the beat of the wind from its wings and this icy breath, and the zombies don't seem to much pay no mind to it though. So, well, I'm just gonna keep stabbing them.
Okay, thank you. And so you'd climbed up on the logs, and you were trying to hold off up on the logs there, because on the pile of logs the zombies were having a lot of trouble moving. Mm-hmm. All right, Moisha, what's your opening line? I think it was probably your closing line.
We're all doomed.
Catchphrase.
River suggested that water could help us move the blockage in the road of the trees. So I agreed to help her go look for water. We had to scramble about, so I went ahead a bit, and the next thing I knew, I was in the company of unexpected wood elves who were not happy that I was in the woods. So I tried to explain that we were just passing through. We didn't mean any harm. We were just passing through. And with some very pointy arrows, they suggested that I take them to my leader. And so I...
Take us to your leader.
Exactly. So I started back towards the party. And then, fortunately, Lindley and River showed up to help, but they got captured too. So that wasn't so good. But eventually, we got back to the main, to what turned out to be a battle. And I don't believe I should be here. I really don't believe I should be here. I should have stayed home and dealt with the fact that Esther doesn't love me, but...
Among other things.
But, I did have some, what I thought might be holy water, and so I put that on my sword, and that seemed to work against one of the zombies. And
quite nicely.
At this point, I'm just resigned that I will have to kill things until it's time to go home.
Hooray!
All right. Take it away, talk.
You know, you were
an inspiration.
You weren't quite such a bummer before the cat. I think things started taking a downward slope in your mood when you decapitated the cat.
Went dark side.
Previously on our thrilling adventures, well, basically all of that, but Talk decided to go with Lindley and River to help find Moisha, considering Talk being little and his pony being little, and he couldn't really do much to help with the clearing. I mean, you know, he could help, but not. He could be better useful at other things, he decided. Plus, you know, doesn't want to get too many calluses or anything on the hands. You know? I mean, you need your hands to make illusions. Anyway, and we're on our way through the woods, and I believe it was my character that noticed that there were wood elves up in the trees above us.
Yep.
Alarm goose.
Yes.
Yeah. You're
And-
Gosling.
And I called out to them and tried to be friendly and diplomatic, and they told me to shut up. And then they asked me questions, and then when I answered them, they told me to shut up. And basically, that kind of stuff.
And how did Talk feel about that?
A little nervous.
Yeah.
He's a little nervous, considering that he's still fairly squishy. You know, he's getting better, but
being a second or third level illusionist.
yes.
Yep.
Who rolled really low on his base health in character development.
Yeah.
But trying his best to be diplomatic and perhaps establish some form of trust with the wood elves that they could maybe use to their advantage in ending hostilities between the Northronders, the wood elves, and the centaurs, who have been battling for some time over land. And we basically confirmed some rumors on both sides, and
You recall what those rumors were? Remember, we're also doing this for Joe's sake, since he was wasn't here for the last
well,
part.
we found out that after every battle between these three peoples, the dead are coming up like this,
Yeah, each night.
which is not normal.
No.
And certainly not my fault.
And the
Allegedly.
and winter is coming to the north. Basically, the glaciers are, to use modern terms, are rolling ever southward and pushing the Northronders into
Centaur land, which is pushing them into Wood Elf land.
and just
Resources battle.
causing some issues. The Wood Elves, of course, being two tribes separated from this glacier business, were suspicious of the thing, thinking it was just a excuse for them to roll down.
Yeah, the motives is a land grab.
And they'd only heard whispers of the Mordridian armies approaching from the north.
South.
South, I mean. And only the briefest of panicked rumors about the dangers at the Druid's Gate with the Fae being infected and having to shut down the doorways, leaving Fae trapped on this side for up to a year, at least. And basically, combining all of this together, Talk did his best to convince the Wood Elves that that it is extremely unlikely that this many bad things would be happening in this many places across the continent at the exact same time. It's extremely unlikely, and most likely there is an intelligence behind it, or some conspiracy of
As
some
opposed to
kind.
incompetence.
And this is after a lot of years of peace, after Regnum Sapientium calmed all the lands under Arthur's rule and such. It's all just suddenly been falling apart very rapidly in the last few years. And the plague, right? Plague and all kinds of things. Although that might have been a little bit their fault,
Yeah, it's hard to say.
killing all the cats.
But yes, so it is just extremely suspicious, especially the dead spontaneously rising for no reason.
So you made these points, and they seemed if not fully persuaded, at least it piqued enough of their curiosity to go, you might have something.
They were starting to think maybe...
They were thinking a little differently than originally. Because your statements corroborated, they said, some of the other statements they'd heard and they didn't believe. But you, hopefully, they, maybe considered a more neutral party, third party, or fifth party in this case, right.
And also pressured that this would not be the time to be squabbling amongst ourselves on this continent when we should be concerned about the invading forces from all angles.
And so that managed to get them, when you heard all the wailing and screams of the dead rising from the west, they let you have your weapons back and said, follow them and run south as fast as your little legs could carry you.
And by the time we got there, Talk, using one of his new spells for the first time, thought he had a kind of a Deus Ex Machina type way to help us with this horde that is way beyond
good idea.
Our capabilities.
What was the plan?
It should have worked.
Yeah, so what was the plan?
Well, I planned
as briefly as you can, as succinctly as you can.
Improved phantasmal force to create a dragon. And I thought fire would be too risky. If you didn't kill him in one shot, then you have to deal with flaming zombies, and nobody wants that. So I went with ice, unfortunately, not knowing, and I still don't know, that ice does not affect zombies.
Yeah. None of you know that.
Yes.
Your character might have a lower chance.
Well, observational data.
Well, but his was an illusion, so you don't know if that means anything.
But there's bad news and good news even further with that, because...
Because how did the zombies respond at first when you first started the swoop with the ice dragon? The white dragon?
They immediately reacted and paid attention to it.
They all looked up. They all stopped what they were doing and looked up.
And then somehow they all realized that it was an illusion and that the source of the magic.
And all their heads moved as one and looked through the dark, looked straight at you.
Yes. So, good news is, this is pretty good evidence to us and the wood elves, I think, of these not being just mindless.
At least that's Talk's surmise from what's seen. That others may not have noted that. But it was very disturbing to watch hundreds of zombies do this, and then all look at you.
I mean, I haven't had much experience with the dead, but I've never heard in any of the legends that they could all act simultaneously.
Yeah.
In a stricter coordination than any troops.
Right. So anyway, so you saw that. That's where we kind of left it with you.
But the bad news is they're all staring at me and
trying to climb over the logs to you.
Has redirected towards me.
Yep. Okay, so Farhad, that kind of gives you an idea of where we left things at. Any questions to fill in the gaps before we get rolling here? Because it'd be very easy for your character, anybody's character here, to die in this situation. So I want to make sure that we reduce confusion as much as possible.
Sure. First of all, I want to let everybody know, I already know that these are all Borg. Network together. I just want to assimilate us, it's fine.
They just are in the early stages of the
Borgification.
Of the technological assimilation. They've got the biological part. They just haven't got to the technological yet.
Iron Age technology.
Yeah.
Iron
Age Borg.
Joe knows that. Like Farhad doesn't know that. Farhad doesn't know who the Borg are.
They're your cousins.
Yet.
Wait! Aren't the Borgs a branch of the Northronders?
This is a multiverse setting, so anyway, please continue.
They're also amazing at tennis.
I hear they have good meatballs.
You know, you're on the board. Farhad is still really subdued, having had a god eyeball him with the the vacuous futility of eternity in one eye socket and an icy blue eyeball in the other. So he has been chopping wood, and he is at the point where he's it's finally gotten to him. I don't know how many weeks we've been on the road, but it's finally gotten to him. He's like, this is just gonna be a slog now. He's like, come on, hey, it'll be fun. We're all friends. Everything's great. That's gone.
We're all doomed.
He's just like, the only thing I can do is chop wood. Otherwise we can't get out of here. So he's just chopping and chopping and chopping. And he's like, if somebody needs help, they'll call. If somebody wants me to do something else, they'll call. But we're not going anywhere with these logs in the way.
So he's kind of in shock and in autopilot mode, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes total sense with all of the experiences, one on top of another on top of another. Makes
but now
total
there's been
sense.
kerfuffles.
Yes.
And, torrents run off and
Excuse me. And before it went dark, you knew that Karn was doing a good job on his own, holding back the horde for quite a while. But then he did go down, and Torn went running after him and helped extricate him. And you, out of the corner of your eyes, you've been moving as fast as you can to move these logs, so you guys don't have to abandon your horses and your supplies. You noticed Torn was kicking butt. He was chopping zombies left and right with his sword.
Not as much butt as he describes in his own
No,
line.
not as much as... So, just to be clear, nowhere near the amount that Torrin was describing. That's Torrin's version of the story. That's fine. But from what you saw,
that's what he's got to tell his folks back home.
Way above anything you've ever seen Torrin do, by a long shot.
And this has given Farhad a renewed faith in court.
Ah, there you go.
When you meet a god on the street and he tries to intimidate you, it can dash your faith in your own god.
Yeah.
Are they all like this? But oh no.
What if God was one of us?
God who actually does things.
Just a
more
slob.
He could have helped us out. He could have borrowed his horse. Yeah.
Okay, so you're still helping Hurry and try to clear this last 5 feet, right? You gotta get this last 5 feet of logs. That's still gonna take anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes with the Wood Elves helping and everything. That's a long time in combat terms. We are not going to role play 15 minutes of combat because that will take us 3 days of gaming. We've gotten to a point here where we can kind of do things a little more strategically to fast forward a little bit of the combat, because the good thing is you've created a bottleneck and you're up on the logs where the zombies have trouble getting to you, and so you can kind of hold a holding action for a little while.
And they're starting
But
to
I want to roll initiative against the logs.
What's that?
I want to roll initiative against the logs.
I think you win.
So, what I do want to know is strategically, not tactically, like not round by round, but overall over the next 5 to 15 minutes while they're trying to clear the logs, what each of you plans to do, and then we'll kind of play through that. And there'll be a few waves here that you'll have to fend off a few waves, but we're going to kind of fast track that because again, we could just sit and slog through. Somebody called it Heroes of the Mist, Walking Dead, or something like that. So Lindley, you of course were planning something with the holy water and such.
Yes, I am putting all my bullets in the holy water, or putting my holy water on the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
You got peanut butter in my chocolate, and I'm going to be pegging those out. But I'm also looking for the necromancer.
Okay, so you're looking for somebody who looks like they're not dead. Undead.
Somebody's
who's
in control
controlling
of this pile.
Okay.
I want to know who.
How
they
are you looking? I mean, besides your infravision, which is limited.
Well, I've already used my. I'm out of spells.
Yeah.
So I'm using.
But you're just keeping your eyes open in case you see somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using my knowledge of anatomy, and the person who's not shambling is it.
All right. All right. And River.
River is going to go up.
Can we first just a second? Where is Linda Lay on the map right now? Everybody
He's
point
on
to
top
it
of the
so people
horses.
can see on the stream. Okay, so
at the horses.
well, he's not on the horse.
Yeah, it's just,
But he's right next to
right
it. Yeah,
there.
on top of the
We
logs.
just sort of had it there to.
Sure.
Were you on the logs or on because the horses would have been on the trail.
He was still up on the logs.
I was getting the I don't know which horse is which, but I was getting the holy water off of his horse.
Okay, yeah. So you're up on the logs next to one of the horses. Yeah.
So that'll be back
Yeah,
here.
behind it, not towards the horde. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Where is River on the map?
River just got down.
Okay, yeah, it just jumped down into the trail, right, where it's
onto the
cleared,
trail.
right?
And then she is going to go up and cast Shield on Torin. I need to look up, again, in the Oriental Adventures.
'Kay.
Shield, because it has a little...
Yeah, so check out, because
so-
Shield is mostly missile related, unless I
No,
miss
but it still has
an armor class bonus.
Yeah,
Okay,
it does.
all right.
And then she's going to help with moving the logs. Well, there's
Read the
a-
spell first.
Yeah, I did.
Between duration, concentration, things like that. Okay,
Also, remember
and
correctly, you
Torin.
were very good at axing the logs.
Well, there's a lot of people fighting,
Yeah.
and not as many people moving logs.
True.
It's a little small magic weight.
Yep. Torin.
Torn is going to continue what he does best, which is stay close to Karn and stab anything trying to get up on the
So you're
logs.
up on the logs on the
Yes.
wall. Karn's down in the trail, stopping the zombies where they are, and they're piling up.
Yeah.
But you're next to above him, helping
Yeah.
keep him clear. Okay, and Klaus is there as well, helping
Yes.
alongside. So, and Klaus is actually, what he's kind of doing is as the bodies start to pile up, he's kind of flinging them away into the zombies and throwing them back to try to keep their because otherwise they keep getting pushed back. And he's literally, as the body's piling up, trying to throw them back with his 18 double-aught strength.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
throwing the carcasses back into the zombies, clear back there, so you're not getting forced back. Karn and Klaus and you are helping hold the line. So that's just kind of it's just a grind. It's just a grind. But with the narrow 5 foot wide space and
10
how
foot.
difficult, what's that?
10 foot wide.
The road's 10 foot wide.
Yeah. Road's 10 foot. You have moisture.
You're right. 10 foot. You're right. Okay. You're right. Okay. But you guys are able to keep that bottleneck, and with how uneven the logs are, the zombies really are having trouble trying to climb over them with great difficulty. These are not modern day zombies that are fast and dexterous. These are old school 1950s Walking Dead, stumbling and very
Thank you, George.
not dexterous.
Just a clarification on my tactics. I am, when appropriate, if I have a choice of targets, I pick Centaur over
The bigger
the rest.
ones.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. And we'll have you do a few rolls representatively to see how you do. And and Moisha.
Moisha is here. Herschel is here.
Mm-hmm. So you're alongside, squeezing behind Karn and Klaus.
Yes.
Okay.
And Moisha has enough apparent holy water left that he can douse his sword one more time.
Okay.
And after that, it'll just be a regular sword again.
Okay.
And that's what he will do.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
When holy water enhanced weapons hit the undead,
Mhm.
does it do something cool?
Yeah, it sizzles and burns.
So-
Doesn't catch fire, but it smokes and such.
Okay.
Yeah. It is very noticeable.
Okay.
It is an immediate, because it does 2 to 8 hit points of damage.
And the enchanted sword I'm using that's +3 does not do that. It just kind of slices through them like they're butter.
It slices through like a butter, and remember, then
Black,
then
yeah.
they start to like dry out and desiccate.
Okay.
A little
Okay.
bit after that,
All right,
which is
that makes
a
sense.
cool effect of your sword. So it seems to suck the undead life essence out of them or
In
something.
this world, I wonder why priests don't bless bottles of hydrochloric acid or something more often, 'cause they don't just be like double acid.
Yeah, but some
on
creatures are immune. Some of the undead acid doesn't do that much to them.
Mm.
Holy water is more effective. So, because of the whole evil thing.
That's another way of detecting the necromancer if they're
Yep.
in the pile is that when my holy water bullets hit somebody, if it doesn't sizzle, that's the necromancer.
Assuming it's a humanoid.
And assuming
I am making lots of
You
assumptions
bet.
here.
and assuming the necromancer is anywhere within a 5-mile radius. We've seen some pretty amazing remote
Yep.
magic. Like,
So, talk.
Talk is currently wondering if his spare pants are clean.
With the hordes coming after him.
Yes, he had this grand moment where he was going to save everybody, and now and now he is target numero uno. And so
Yeah, it wasn't quite going according to plan.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's he gonna do now? He spent his spell.
He is going to back up a bit and just try to find a good place to both hide and maybe get a couple more spells out.
Okay.
If need be, and he's pulling his goose back as well.
Okay. Your goose did not charge into the zombies.
Understandable.
Your gosling doesn't even know what to do with it. Yeah.
It's young, you'll learn.
Yeah. It's an aggressive little gosling, but it knows something's not right there. And Farhad.
Farhad is going to keep chopping as much as he can,
Okay.
as long as he can.
Okay.
He's gonna keep his eye on how things are going.
Okay.
And he'll run in to help if he needs to.
Okay, and a number of wood elves have swooped in to help chop off some of the branches to make the logs easier to slide and such. They're not doing much more than that, but that is helpful.
Yeah, how much wood could a wood elf help if a wood elf could help with wood?
If they were willing to help.
Yeah. And, okay, so I would like you to roll. How many bullets are you going to use?
Assuming that we don't get the chance to run away sooner, I'm probably going to use all 20 of them.
Okay, let's roll 10 in quick succession. Just tell me your rolls very quickly.
19 and a 5.
Okay.
A 4 and a 3.
Okay.
15 and a 9.
Okay.
And a 1 and an 8.
Okay.
That was 10, right?
All right, so you hit 3.
I was
4. You hit 4. And they sizzled as they went in each time, and were pretty darn effective.
You probably hit a lot more than that. They just don't matter.
Right.
Well, these are individual bullets, so
I'm just saying that if you threw it this way, it's hitting something eventually.
yeah. But as far as with any real effect, yeah. But you did hit, and they had sizzling, dramatic effect, especially since 2 of them you hit them right between the eyes. So you were definitely effective with at least some of those.
Not that the odds are against you.
Actually, that was only 7 rolls.
He's rolling 2 at a time.
Oh, how did you? Okay, I missed one. What's the last?
Okay. Nat 20 and a 10.
Okay, good. All right, so that's one more.
That one hit the necromancer.
Yeah.
You can't swing a zombie cat around here with hitting a zombie.
How'd you know about the zombie cat?
We guessed.
That was a different group. All right.
Well, no, we got we assume the stinky cat is dead.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and I believe the wood elf we met said something about that too. That
Yeah,
first
but
wood
I
elf.
don't think they said it was a zombie cat.
Well, no, it just said that it was undead or something.
It was
Making
or something.
assumptions,
Yeah.
as usual.
All right,
I'm
River,
pretty
what'd you
sure-
find
pretty
on
sure
Shield?
someone told
So
us-
shield actually gives you a +4 AC to all other
Okay.
attacks, but I can only cast it on myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says only self, which kind of sucks.
Okay.
It means you can be the meat shield.
I didn't realize that. Is that standard?
That's standard.
Oh, I
Yeah.
totally forgot that.
Shield has always been a personal protective spell.
Okay.
It's not even as good as mage armor. It's gotten worse. I mean, the shield is like, great, I can throw it up, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
It's for one attack.
But so I'm actually going to cast strength on Farhad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
But you know who Farhad's going to think that is, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're
Do
not
you have
gonna
to
get
touch
anything.
him, or is it range?
it's touch.
Okay, so you're going to work your way over. You're not that far from Farhad.
No.
Yeah.
So you're going to walk up and tap him.
Yeah.
Do you ask permission first, or just go up and do it? He is
I'm
very
busy.
busy.
I knew Did it.
So you're laboring away, and all of a sudden, River taps you on the back.
So it gives 1d8 points for strength.
Roll a
If
d8.
it's a samurai sohei, she for barbarian, and then I don't know what Barhood would.
He's a fighter. He would be a.
I think he'd fall in one of those.
Sohei is a holy.
He's not
fighter.
Japanese. It's barbarian.
No, I know. Yeah. Well, barbarian's a different class in that. Did you say Bushi?
Yeah.
Bushi's non
Soldier.
Yeah, that would be Bushi.
Okay.
So D8.
Unless you reach 18.
Right. But up to 18.
Yeah. Well, okay. After 18,
Then
they
it's
gain
percentages.
strength in percent increment.
Nice.
After.
All right. What's your current strength?
15.
Okay.
4.
All right. So you now have 1810
sorry.
strength.
It's actually 16 because I have +1 from cord.
Oh yeah. So you have 1820 strength. 1820.
Yeah.
That's so you feel River tap you from behind, your peripheral vision, you recognize who it is. And you just feel this energy just flow through, and like you were grabbing you were chopping at a log and pulling, one of the branches off, and you just like rip toward this like 3-inch branch right off with ease.
How long does it last?
Yeah. That's
It's done.
It's 6 turns per level.
6 turns?
Per level.
Okay, so that's 12 turns, so that's 2 hours? 2 hours.
Nice.
Hurry up and clear this thing.
We're getting out of here faster.
Yeah, carry the horse. I'm going to pick up Kevin and run. My horse. So Farhad just feels River tap him.
Yes.
Like,
And then this energy
I
just...
don't have time for you right now. I'm busy moving the logs. You can help. How come you don't help?
That's our plan is afterwards.
And then you feel this energy just coursing through you, the strength.
By the power of cord, I command you, logs.
So now you're like helping the horses drag some of the logs now. You're like, screw the chopping stuff, I'm moving whole logs. And you're in awe of your own self. You're getting sap all over your hands and clothes, by the way. You're going to be extremely, by the way, because I've done lumberjacking and stuff, I've been through a similar mess like this. Everybody who's doing this is just getting covered in sticky sap. And this is mostly evergreen sap, which is really sticky. It smells great. Yeah, there's a wonderful evergreen sap smell over the stinky undead.
Don't have to worry about mosquito.
But it's gonna be really, really sticky and hard to remove and stuff. So just so you know,
smell like an air freshener.
Yeah. Bits of everything are sticking to you everywhere, but you're just helping. Yeah, you're in awe of yourself.
So when you were a lumberjack, were you okay?
Yes, and I worked all day and night. Yeah, pretty much, because 16-hour days were exhausting.
Did you wear women's clothing?
I did not wear women's clothing, because then I would have not kept a job there if I had done so.
Remember, I know several lumberjacks, and not all of them are transvestites.
Right.
According to
this was at the mine, and I talked a bunch of miners, and I mean MINERS, into playing Middle-earth role-playing while I was there.
Nice.
That was a major victory at 17 years old to get all these guys playing.
Oh, so you were a miner with the miners?
Yes. That is not the first time somebody has said that. Anyway.
How will this affect our timeline?
How will this affect your...
Oh, having
speed up.
Because you said 15 minutes.
Log removal process.
Yeah, it was 5 to 15. It's making it, instead of 15, that's going to drop it to 10. So that's just shaved off 5 minutes. That's a big bump. Yeah, big improvement. Okay, so Torin, let's go ahead and do 10 quick rolls for you.
Right then.
Yeah, I want to say thanks, Farhad. Way to go. Good job, man.
It's okay, I'll just turn into his god.
Have you heard the good news about Our Lady River?
Okay,
all right,
go ahead, Torque.
20.
Okay, 10 quick rolls.
15.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
2.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
16.
Mm-hmm.
15? 11?
Please stop doing that.
14?
That is throwing me off when you do that.
6.
Yeah, don't interject numbers when we're doing this.
And all those are running around with a plus
4. No, I'm sorry.
You hit 6 times out of that 10.
Okay.
And it basically each time took down a zombie. So with that weapon and everything,
Yeah.
and the advantage you have there, and they're not very strong, but you are just this is your dream come true, except for the ichor and gore and the stench and the terror. But it's going, this is exactly like you dreamed in a way.
There's probably this battle hype, just like, here I am.
Yeah.
Great warrior.
Yeah.
You just gotta survive long enough to have grandkids to tell them the story, and then you'll be complete.
There's that necromancer, I know.
That's what you shout out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moisha. You only be able to get through about half the time, so five rolls.
And the first one is going to be
With the holy water, yeah.
14.
Okay.
15.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Okay. That was... What are your bonuses? Because that was real borderline, those 2 9s. To hit bonuses.
My to hit bonus. No to hit bonus for the sword.
Okay, so you hit with the first 2, which means the first one
What's your strength?
was smoking.
My strength is 30.
Yeah. So your first one, you sliced one and it sizzled and smoked and fell apart very quickly. Second one, what?
It tells me I have a weight adjustment.
Yeah, that's for you to carry more
Carrying
stuff or
Okay.
lift stuff, things like
Okay.
that. Yeah. That helps with encumbrance and things like that.
Right.
So your first 2 strokes were really effective, and then the next 2 were close but kind of missed, and then the last one completely missed.
Right.
Almost took off Card's leg.
I don't
You
think
just
it's
missed him.
Different, but I do have a +4 from this.
Yeah, one more. Give you one more.
Every zombie counts.
Yeah. All right.
Eventually, you just
Yeah.
have to get over that. before you get-
Hey, at least nobody made fart jokes about the pile of dead.
Right. Gamers 2, Darkness Rising. Yep. All right. Let's see. So that was Moisha. All right. And Talk, so you've climbed back over the logs, kind of on the other side of them now.
I'm trying to keep where I can see, but
Yeah. And so...
there's not much I can do.
Okay.
At least.
No more spells?
I've got spells, but
Not that you figure you can do something with, or...
I've got color spray, but I'm saving that until I would be saving that until they got a little
light?
bit closer to me.
Okay. All right.
Build it up more.
All right.
And they're coming. I got a troop coming after me specifically.
Yeah,
so,
and you've got wood elves now flanking you, who are doing their darndest every now and then, taking pot shots at the closer ones. So,
And if they get close enough after the color spray, I've got a couple daggers to.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do any of that until they're close. Just.
Okay.
So I'm just basically protect.
okay, great. So that's kind of how it progresses. You guys are hacking and slashing. You're interjecting between Karn and Kloss from time to time, and you're laying waste, and you're laying waste. And what after you make him strong, what do you do? Help with the logs? So you do, after he kind of prods you, you jump in and help.
Well, those are planned anyway.
Okay, so getting all sticky and dirty.
And Talk is
what is your
laying
strength?
waste in his pants.
11.
Okay, that's helpful. It helps. Yeah, what you can certainly help between chopping, lassoing, and helping with the horses. It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Another set of hands definitely helps. Okay, I was doing his thing. You're doing your thing. Your way. All right. Now I just have to see if any of the zombies manage to either get through the wood elf defenses to you. are you staying there by the back of those horses when you're doing this with the slingshots that whole time?
It's getting too close to me, then I'm going to be.
Well, yeah, the horde's trying to get to him, so they'll be getting close to you. So if you want to say you're backing away strategically, okay, because that's over 10 rounds.
Yeah,
you can be backing up. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So you can go ahead and put him back up on top of the logs there. He backed up. You can put the goose back behind Talk.
The logs collapsed,
and they all die.
Logs fall, everybody dies.
Yeah.
What?
All right. There were a few efforts. None of the centaur zombies were able to get through. It was just impossible terrain for their hooves. But some of the elf and Northron zombies were able to. And but the wood elves plucked them off before you were getting ready with your spell, getting ready to color blast them, and the wood elves were able to take them out before they could get too close. And what else? Same thing on the other side. Some of the zombies broke off and tried climbing over the other side, but the wood elves are holding them at bay there. So now it's just going to be Karn, Klaus, Torin, and Moisha to see if any of you got hit during this time. Karn's taking a few scratches because he just lost took a little bit. As far as you know.
Okay. I've been making assumptions since we started.
Yes.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Yep.
After the zombie, maybe Farhad and our extremely strong friend over there, just like juggle Moisha.
Moisha, you got scratched for 5 hit points.
No. Juggling. Totally different.
Ooh, Torin.
I would have
one of them. One of the centaurs.
But I'm too easy.
Got through close enough to you to take a swing at you. Yeah, well, he's got the height, right? So he got close enough. He got close enough to Karn and Klaus because they got tied up, and he was able to come in and take a swing at you for a nat 20.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's about what it takes to get you. But it was a hard hit. 9 hit points. Yeah, just raked across your chest.
I think you dropped your arm.
And then you dispatched him. But that was a natural 20. Good thing we're not doing the full crit system yet. We will be. Oh yes. I'm trying to wait till you guys are about 5th level or so before we start having you lose body parts and stuff.
Okay, it's like, everybody stop at level 4. Don't do anything.
All right. That's... Yeah, you guys hold that. That 10 minutes goes by. It's intense. It's filled with terror. You're all working very heavily. It's a constant drone of screams and moans and all these horrible sounds, right out of your nightmares. But you hold the line between the wood elves showing up. That made the difference. You probably would have gotten a little over flanked and stuff. But with the wood elves being added to the mix, you guys hold the line.
Probably a 50-50 shot of whether or not sleep like logs or are just up all night twitching.
So, at the end of that 10 minutes, it's finally cleared enough. Now, that last little part's only 5 feet wide. That's just enough to get one through at a time, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And so the wood elves are saying, hurry, get through. So, who's going through first? Farhad. Oh yeah, Janera is in the thick of it with River and Farhad. Farhad, what's your plan?
As soon as I'm gonna just have it left.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Janera grabs a couple. River.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Joe's got his in a fireman carry.
Actually, more like a baby.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can get my pony.
By the way, somebody
one of the horses.
somebody in the chat room just called. Somebody was trying to say that Moisha is an avatar of let's see. What? Never mind. Moisha is a priest of Eeyore.
Yes.
Moisha is an avatar of Mr. Bean. River is an avatar of Cord.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter much anyway. All right.
Have you heard about our Lord Eeyore who lost his tail for your sins?
Yeah. All right. So the horses are all through. Your supplies are through. Several of the party members are through, and several are back behind the lines there.
Okay.
I'm going to keep firing.
Talk.
Tell these people to get back.
Okay. So they are focused on the battle, do not seem to be aware that things have cleared behind them. Anybody want to inform them? They are in the thick of battle.
Tactical retreat! The way is open!
Torin hears some strange words of tactical retreat that you have no idea.
The path is clear!
Okay. And then you hear the path is clear, and that makes more sense.
Oh!
So you look over your left shoulder and see that, sure enough, there's a narrow pathway through. Karn and Kloss do not seem to hear that in the din of their being in the middle of battle.
Karn! We're through! Retreat!
He quickly looks over his shoulder and almost loses an ear in the process, but then starts backing away, and he and Kloss start retreating slowly and carefully as all the zombies are coming at them constantly. So you guys just kind of slowly pull back because it's just a mob of them. They just unrelenting.
Pretty much, I can't get between the two of them.
No.
If something tries to come sides.
Yeah. No, you can poke between, but you guys just beat an orderly retreat. Between the two big burly guys and yourself, nothing's getting through.
What else? Because.
Yeah, and they're up there, and if any, get up on the logs and stuff, they plunk away at them.
Now Torrance confused and scared by wood elves.
Yeah, yeah. You see a whole bunch of wood elves flickering in the torches that are starting to go out because the zombies are starting to. Because the torches are up front and a few here by the logs. Most of them are starting to sputter out. So this is all little flashes of firelight, weak torchlight for. All these horrible little half-shadowed, enhancing the experience.
Pretty sure even with a lot of the worst racists, if they were faced with a horde of zombies, would probably put some of their prejudices aside in favor of mutual defense.
Yeah.
How you throw the one.
Another assumption. All right. So yes, Joe.
No, I was just laughing.
Oh, okay. So as soon as they back through, wood elves on each side slam some of the logs back together, trying to close it kind of like a gate, and the horde just is clawing away at those logs, trying to get a scrabble. But they're so slimy from fresh sap and goo and being stripped and everything that they're just kind of slipping and sticking and slipping. And the wood elves are kind of clustering over that area, and now they're engaging in a melee to just hack away at them. Meanwhile, about 30 more wood elves arrive, just in time.
Oh, of course.
And the first thing they do, and half of them are on horses. The others are in the trees. They may have already been from nearby. So this is what those of you can see. You can't see.
Yeah.
You can hear horses coming from down the road, galloping, and
Zombie
sense
horses.
people closes. Well, they're centaurs, But and you hear strange language being shouted back and forth in Wood Elf, and quickly a couple of lanterns are lit from horseback, bullseye lanterns, illuminating you guys. And you see in the light, a number of the horsemen have pulled out their bows from horseback, and you now see up in the trees more bowmen pointing down at you. Then there's some shouting from the elves that had already met, shouting at them. There seems to be some argument and disagreement for a brief few seconds, but finally they slowly and grudgingly and warily unknock the arrows, warily put the arrows and bows away, but they are giving you all very trusting looks. But you guys basically have met about 20 horsemen, wood elves on horse, and another 10 up in the trees, in addition to the 20 or so that were already here. A lot of wood elves, but you are at the...
I am swearing in Elvish, Gnomish, Halfling, Goblin, Hobgoblin, Orcish, Gnoll, and Common.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just rotating.
I've just been in a steady strain of my favorite Dragonborn and curses. And
Okay. So now, what's that?
Hey guys, you missed it. There's zombies over there.
So you say that to the wood elves?
Yeah,
Okay. Most of them, and you're saying this in Regnum Sapientium, right?
in deeply accented Elvish.
Which Elvish?
High Elvish.
Okay.
But deeply accented with like Iridian
Right.
like consonants.
Okay, most of them look like they don't understand you at all. A couple look like there's partial understanding. You hear him say that in High Elvish.
Not like I could translate to Wood Elvish because I'm High Elvish.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, the horses part and make a pathway for you guys to go through, and they gesture for you to start marching down the road.
Moisha marches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of you try to get on your horses?
Farhad tries to mount up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Immediately, one of the elves says, "None! None!" waves at you, no.
Hey guys, there must be some low branches ahead. It says don't get on your horse, you'll hit your head.
So single file between two rows of elvish horsemen. They escort you down the road to the east in the dark.
We like to feed our horses.
Yes. No, they're letting you lead your horses. They just, as soon as he tried to climb on,
they haven't taken our weapons.
nope, not this time
I'm
around.
grumbling about the lost tribute.
And then the rest you hear go engage the zombies, and you start hearing some chanting and start seeing different colors of light start showing up over the
Oh,
logs
so the
and
mages
such.
showed up.
Or something. Something showed
So-
up.
Another assumption.
Yeah.
I quickly fill in our recently reunited cohorts on our temporary and uneven truce with wood elves.
Well, let's quickly, because you're in single file. Let's figure out where you guys are in your marching order right now.
And I can remove all the zombies and all the
Yep. Yeah, you can clear all that out now. You're free of that for the rest of the night,
they
unless
could
you want to
clear
go
up
back
the
into
battlefield that easy.
it.
Well, I don't know. I left all those magic items behind. I'm a little mad.
Yeah. All right. So who do you think is in the front there? There was River, Janera, Moisha was in the. You went through first.
Yeah.
Okay, so Moisha in the front with
You're the longest
Herschel.
Yeah.
Okay, then Janera,
Not a good one.
All right then. So
then River.
Farhad,
Okay, so who's after River? That Farhad? Farhad, how long did you wait till you went through?
Yeah, he didn't have to come through.
Okay,
He
so
was
are you
already
in the
there.
front?
Yeah.
Okay, so Farhad's in the
Which one
front.
was Farhad?
Farhad, then
You know the
Moisha,
figures best.
Yeah.
then Herschel,
He's touching
then
Farhad. That's
Janera.
Farhad. He has the two swords.
so Farhad, Moisha, the dog, River.
Of course, you got the horses.
Yeah.
Don't forget the horses. Single file.
So we'll probably.
You have to be leading them behind each of you.
But it's just
So it'll be
representative because we
person,
got more
horse,
horses
person.
than we got horses.
What's that?
We got more horses than people.
We got more horses than we got
Even
horses.
with Kloss
Yes, because we all have a
and
riding
Karn and
horse.
Janera. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
blue
that's a
pack.
challenge.
Oh, I didn't bring the pack.
That's a problem. Oh, you grabbed some of the pack animals?
No, I think it just got transferred.
Oh, okay. All right, well, do the best you can there.
So just remember, there are more horses than.
Yes, because you have the pack animals,
There's
right?
a horse by each one of us,
Right.
and then there's a couple more.
Yeah. So Farhad, Moisha, Herschel, Janera, then
I have a couple of the centaurs.
yeah.
No.
Who's after Janera?
These were
We have Karn.
Karn
Karn.
right next to Janera. Right in front, right behind.
No, you would have been before Karn, because Karn and Kloss were the last ones
Okay.
through.
Oh, there's no chance to mill about.
The wood elves didn't
I
like
can
you.
replace them with unicorns.
Okay.
So-
We got some Clydesdales here.
So
Where's Talk?
Talk was
and
already
River.
Talk generally sticks to the middle.
Talk and
River's after Genera, maybe?
I'm
Talk and Lindalay were like already
I'm
pretty
right
much
now
on
in
the
front of
wood,
Genera.
so they would be higher
In
up
front of, okay.
because they were off on the side on the wood. So where I'm not sure if they could probably get interjected anywhere then.
Here, try these ones.
Yeah, they could be wherever.
Okay.
But we know that Karn and Kloss will be last.
I was actually thinking that since I'm small, I would actually weave a bit through the group to fill in each.
Okay, so you're going to be
Member of the
running
party.
around bringing people up to speed. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
so
do that. We'll do that in a minute.
I'll
But
probably
hold,
have-
hold that thought.
Probably have someone walking my pony.
Okay, so we got Karn at the end. Before that, Kloss. And so, and then Torin. Where's Lindalay in all this mess?
Yeah, where is Lindalay in all this mess?
Put them somewhere.
Between Genera and Torin?
Perfect.
All right.
Knighting Drenera.
It's quite a little convoy there. And then on each side, you've got about 10 horsemen. Yeah, just ballpark, yeah. Luckily, once you got past the wreckage, the road is wide enough for two wagons, large carriages, to pass each other in opposite. But the woods are very, very ancient. These, as you're going in, the woods are getting taller, more ancient, and you're getting away from the noise of the combat and the moans and the groans fairly rapidly. Okay. Talk. You want to start the conversation? Everybody else kind of catching their breath right now. So what is it you want to go up and down the line saying?
Basically repeat the same thing over and over.
Okay.
Which do. I know I'm going to. Stopped in order. We've managed to get the wood elves to give us a little bit of faith that mean them no harm, and that perhaps all of these terrible things that are happening all across the country are related, and I tried to lay the seeds of trying to get them to cooperate with the other good peoples of the lands in mutual defense against these attacks from all sides.
Okay, so that's what you're going up.
Which I'm starting to think is all connected.
Okay, and then you go up to the next person, the next person, the next person.
And then I also explained mentioned the whole zombies all turning towards me.
Okay, how would your character summary? You got to shorten these up to summary statements.
And I just know there's some intelligence behind those undead beasts. There's nothing I've ever heard in any legend that suggests that on their own they could figure out an illusion like that and turn directly towards me.
All right, because this is something you're going to be repeating, so you want to keep it a little shorter. Okay.
Wait, that was an illusion?
Yes, the dragon was an illusion. I'm trying to. I've learned some new things. Okay.
Oh,
I learned.
good on you.
I learned a lot from Tathar the Magnificent.
Magnificent. The wood elves all whip out their bows and arrows and look around. They stop their horses and whip out their weapons. Some with bows and arrows, some with swords, and look around because apparently they all heard the echo.
Oh, sorry.
And you hear them, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?" Shouting at each other. What was that? They're looking all around trying to find something.
Sorry.
They all look down at you.
It's just a name that for some reason echoes every time someone says it.
The nearest wood elf says, "The name echoes when you say it."
Yes. Yes. So for example, try saying, repeat after me. Tathar the Magnificent.
Magnificent. The Magnifico. Nothing happens.
I just got to get the right enunciation down. Anyway, a master magician. I believe he may have put a spell on his own name to make him to impress people even more.
So the wood elf opposite him is looking very skeptical and like he maybe understands you a little better. So, Titha the Magnificent? Magnificent!
Yeah, you got it.
Why do that?
I don't know. I didn't do it. I just know that he's very old and very powerful, and I think he
So
did
he
it.
shouts something up the line, and the line gets moving again, and they start putting their weapons away, looking around.
I've been trying to remember what the other thing that we were saying that had an effect was. What was that? It was somewhere around Odin. Oh yeah, the name of his daughter.
Broomhilda.
Yeah, what was the?
No, wrong one.
What was the reaction that happened to that?
Thunder. Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we made a big joke about it and compared it to the Tatar the Magnificent. So and like had a sentence with them going back and forth to just have the effect just for playfulness.
Okay.
Anyway,
check on that. Remember anything about that?
I remember that when people were trying to say her name, it was difficult.
It was difficult to say. I remember that. Yeah,
right.
It was difficult to say.
Those of us who did say it
right.
got chills.
Yeah, you experienced a chill, but it didn't there wasn't like a wind or anything.
Oh,
it was you felt a chill through your spine.
We actually discussed in character that there was some sort of effect to the name, and we compared it to the effect of. I'll just have to review the episode and see.
Yeah. I thought it was an experiential thing, but yeah, we could correct that as needed. All right. So they get moving along. They're not going rapidly. They're not making it so you have to run or anything. So you're going up and down the line. Does anybody else want to talk about this as he's coming up to you, Lindley?
We need to definitely talk to whoever's in charge in here. Convince them it's in their best interest to cooperate. I fully agree with your plan. By the way, are you the leader? The other elf, the half elf.
We all do what needs to be done when it needs.
Okay. When you come up and tell River, do you have anything you want to say to talk? Okay.
Yeah, I mainly would have told that to the people that we'd left here. The people with me, like Lindley, he probably overheard me when I was telling, Karn and.
Okay. All right. What about Torin?
Yeah, we had the whole exchange.
Okay, that was it. Okay, Moisha?
What else?
Farhad.
You learned a new spell. That's great.
I've got several I haven't been able to have an opportunity for. I just wish it had worked better.
Well, I'm sure. Next time. That's probably that pesky old quadrant. Make cats see the towns with bright lights.
Well, that'd be his mother, from what I've heard. Morgana or Morgan.
You've heard different variations.
Heard both, okay.
Depends on who you're hearing it from.
Mother, aunt, half-sister, who's to say?
Yeah, you've heard many things.
But still, like, it's not as though she's paying for the...
And we did hear that she was the one that was able to make that powerful blast that took down the entire
the whole military force
troops
down on the Queen's Road. Yeah.
Yes.
Acquired a donkey from
Well,
or mule.
this is a good thing to know. We got lucky. Now that these wood elves are escorting us through the dangerous woods, safe travels from here on out, my friend.
As you say that, The woods start to open up a little bit, and you see the road starts to open up into a big kind of clearing, but the trees now are a couple of 100 feet tall and form this huge, almost cathedral-like vault as they close up overhead. And up ahead of you, and somewhere I've got a drawing for this, we'll have to put up on the screen after the break, you see the trees grow together as pretty much a solid wall, although you can see at high levels, 50 feet up or so, little slit holes and such where you can see minions inside the tree peering out, and then large wooden gates between a couple of them. You come to what is well known as the wood elves' edge of the realm, and the tree wall and the tree gate and such. And you know that short of going south into the Infernium, this is as far east as you can go without them letting you in. And we're going to leave it right there while we go take a 10-minute break. Be right back with part 2 of episode 39, Heroes of the Mist. Stay tuned.
Yes,